Hello and welcome to the Full-Thrive YouTube channel where we find clients we like, do work that we love on our own schedule. You know, when it comes to pricing, it's the #1 frustration freelancers feel. Do I charge by the hour? I want to charge project-based and really get paid what I'm worth. But sometimes it's hard to communicate that to a client. In today's session, I talk to the freelancers about when it makes sense to charge hourly and when you should switch to project-based and how you can raise your prices and get paid for being an expert. If you want to know how to do that, stay tuned. It's coming up next. So here's the benefits of project pricing, which you probably knew was going to come because I have a bias towards project pricing, I'll be honest. No tracking. Well, I should say no reporting, no time reporting, because you still should be tracking internally so that you're getting a good baseline of how long things take you. You can manage your expectations up front. When you price based on a project, you're going to be able to say, this is how long it's going to take. This is when I'm going to deliver things. This is how long, usually clients need to do blah, blah, blah. You can manage those expectations up front. When you're working by the hour, it's kind of like, well, how many hours did you work this week? Or you can only work 5 hours this week. So it really caps you when you're working by the hour versus having a project where you get to manage those expectations. I think it's easier to invoice. So when we have a project, we break it into 4 payments. I used to break it into 5 payments. I know some people break it into 2 payments. However you want. We went with 4 payments. And one of those payments is upfront. So I charge 30% of the project upfront to even get started. And then there's 2 more invoices at 30%, and that last one at the very end of the project for 10%. 30, 30, 30, 10. So it's easier for us to invoice. The biggest benefit to you and to your client is when you work on a project basis, you have an incentive to deliver faster. Period. You are going to get paid more per hour when you can deliver faster. Hello, incentive. I love getting my projects done. I do not want to drag them out so that I can make more money. Nope. So if you are one of those that likes to get stuff done, then project-based pricing might be for you. And you can create some really awesome packages when you do project-based pricing, right? You can be creative. You can have a silver, gold, and platinum, a small, medium, and large, whatever it might be when it comes to package offers. Yes, you can do this with hourly, and I'm going to show you how to do that, but it is easier and makes more sense to the client when it's done with project basis. Here is the tough part. When you are selling the lump sum, you better know how to sell. It will be harder for you to sell all of the value up front, okay? So you want to really be confident. You want to have a process. You want to be really good at sales. And here's what I'm talking about. So when I don't want to scare you with that. You're like, oh my God, I'm not good at sales. No. What you need to understand is that you are not selling the end result. I really need you to hear me on this. There are 3 things that you're selling with any project. You are selling yourself as the expert, expertise, the guide. You are selling the end result, the graphics, the words, the bookkeeping, the whatever it might be, the website. And you are selling the process, the journey, the how do you get them to the transformation. So when you're doing a project-based pricing, a process is really helpful for you to be able to sell the value of what you're delivering. You're going to change the perception of the person listening to you or looking at your proposal. Because you're not just saying, oh, my hourly rate's 75, his is 85, hers is 35. You're not comparing hourly rates. Oh my God, get out of that game as fast as you can. Okay? You want to sell the value of what you're delivering, and you need to do that up front when you do project-based pricing, okay? There is a crutch when it comes to hourly. This is in my opinion, but my thoughts are that hourly is a crutch. It comes with fears. The first one is that the client doesn't want to commit. Let's just see how this goes. Let's just do 5 hours and see what happens. You don't want to commit. Well, either you don't want to commit to the client or you're not quite sure how you're going to deliver or do or how it's going to work. Again, in the beginning, totally fine, probably the best route. In fact, you may not want to commit to doing something with a client until you get a good handle of one, how long it's going to take and how it is to work with them. But that is still an underlying fear, which is why we go back to hourly. You are not clear on the value you bring. So you just throw an hourly number out there to kind of be like, well, I'm not the cheapest and I'm not the highest. I'm just kind of in here. You are selling your time and not the value of the things that you're delivering. And you go to hourly because you think the client is still in charge. Trust me that most clients think hourly. And if you are on Upwork, they definitely think hourly because Upwork makes you think hourly because, hello, there's your face and there's your dollar amount. This is how much she's worth. Kind of sucks. I mean, you can't put project rates up there because I have all kinds of different project rates. So I get it. You got to have something. So there's your number. And so we think Upwork's in charge, the client's in charge. I'm like, well, I'm supposed to put an hourly rate. So here's hourly rate. So, okay, I guess it's hot. Okay. So you think the client's still in charge. Oh my gosh. As soon as you learn that the client is clueless, they don't know what they're doing, they're trying to figuring it out, and you are the guide, that will change everything for you in your business. Maybe today's the day you're going to wake up to that. And you think that the only way to work on Upwork is hourly, okay? So that's the hourly crutch. That's why it's just easier to go hourly. Hands up, drop a comment if you're like, oh shit, she knows. She's inside my head. She knows it's easier for me just to put an hourly number and hope somebody will pick me based on my hourly number. Come on, you're professionals here, or you're working towards being professional. We're going to change that perspective. So if you are on hourly, one step you could take to move closer to value, to closer to seeing yourself as an expert and closer to shifting to a project basis is to package up your hours. Create some bundles. 5, 10, 15, 20 hours. Okay? So create some bundles. Make it worth their while to pick the biggest bundle. If you're $50 an hour and you buy a 20-hour block, make it $42 an hour that they prepay. These are prepaid. Or you could set a minimum weekly hours, right? Say, hey, we're going to do this together. I'm not going to track my time, or I will track it, but I need a minimum of 10 hours, right? Another way to say that is to have a retainer, which I'm going to say in a minute. Now, if you charge by the hour, you can charge a higher rate. That will start to position you as an expert, but I know you're already going, oh my God, they won't pay that. Well, this is one way to get you out of your comfort zone. So if you know the value you're delivering is going to make them money or save them time, you need to charge for that. That is the value you're bringing. You could also suggest a weekly retainer. Hey, I know the value that I deliver. Let's do 10 hours a week. Some weeks I'll work 12 or 13. Some I'll work 7 or 8. I don't want to track my hours all the time. Let's just do a weekly retainer. All of these are ways to get the customer, the client to go, ooh, I trust you more. I am going to buy into you. This is like an indicator that they are, trusting in you and ready to commit. There are more incentives for project-based. And this is what I mean. You will earn more money per hour, project-based. Because you can create streamlined processes in your business. every time you work with a similar customer, a similar client, a similar project, you are adding to your toolbox or streamlining your process and getting better and faster every time. You will be able to maximize your time because you're like, oh, I've done this before. I have an idea of this project, or I have done one very similar. Okay, so you'll be able to maximize your time. You will be able to deliver faster, but not too fast. I am a really fast deliverer. I don't like to have work on my desk. I just like to get it done. I'm an Enneagram 3. How many of you can relate? So when I first got started, I loved getting gold stars. I loved wowing my clients. I loved when they gave, I had something to do and literally like 2 hours later, I turned it around because that's all I did. I got off the call and I worked on it. I sent it to them. You better believe 2 things. Yay, this is awesome. Thanks, Lisa. Why am I paying so much if it only took you 2 hours? They were still on an hourly basis. Why is this costing me $1,000 if it only took you 2 hours? You really think you're worth $500 an hour? Okay, so again, integrity is important here, but you do not have a deadline to turn things around in 2 hours. So be wise, understand the perception of your client if you deliver too fast. But there is an incentive for Project Base to deliver fast because the less time it takes you to do the project, the more money that you'll make per hour. Which means you are going to be charging expert rates at project prices. So if a project takes, I charge $1,000 for a project, let's say, I get it done in 2 hours. Would you say that $500 an hour is an expert rate? Yeah, I think so. So really my hourly rate is $500 an hour. Do you think anybody on Upwork is going to pay $500 an hour? I can answer that for you. No. No. Whether I post it, I say it, I could dance all day long. Nobody will pay me $500 an hour. I hope you're getting this. Will somebody pay me $1,000 to do a wireframe for them? This was back a few years ago. Yeah. Because $1,000 is really important. $1,000 is going to bring them value. $1,000 is going to help their business. $1,000, investment is going to do all of these things. They'll pay $1,000. They don't need to know how long it's going to take you. Got it? They don't need to know how long it's going to take you because here is the truth. Just because it took you 30 minutes, they are not paying for the minutes. They are paying for all the time, the training, the education, the mistakes, the learning, the investment you made, all the years you put in to learn how to do it in 30 minutes. That is what they're paying for and the value that you're delivering. I know you guys have seen this before. I need it to sink in. You need it to sink in. This is how you change your mind about your pricing. This is how you first make the shift from hourly to project. And this is how you raise your prices. I tell you guys when I do my trainings with you is that you should be raising your prices every month, every quarter. Every time you have a project, you know better. You're getting faster. You're getting more expertise. You have more proof. You are more valuable. The work you do is more valuable. Every project you do. So you should always be raising your prices. Hey guys, I hope you found that valuable. Are you looking for more information about freelancing? How to find clients you like, do work that you love on your own schedule? We've got a ton of videos, and if you subscribe, you will always know when the next video drops. We also have a Facebook group called the Full-Thrive Freelancers. We have great discussions over there, Q&A, and masterclasses that you don't want to miss. So if you want to get into a community, check us out there.